how do you want to live your life, and start living accordingly. No one actually cares what you do. I promise you. Like, hi guys, and welcome to my channel. You can't really be happy if you're not growing as a person. Today I wanted to make a video about something I've experienced in the past and how to kind of get out of that state of mind, how to get out of a mental rut when you're just feeling like there's no way out and you just feel stuck in whatever situation you're in or whatever environment you're in. The first point, I just thought of something. You're not a tree, first of all, so you can move. You don't have roots. And especially when you're young, you shouldn't plant your roots too deep. The world is so vast and so huge, and there's so many opportunities. You shouldn't think that you're stuck. It's really a mental thing. It's really an illusion that you're stuck. Experiencing negative emotions and stress and anxiety is completely natural and completely human, but it's not okay to like completely lose all hope and all faith. Life is going to be really tough at times, but you have to realize that there are opportunities. It's if you think there aren't, or if you're making excuses, it's because you actually don't want to move and you're too comfortable. So that's something that's an issue, is when you're too comfortable in a certain situation, whether it be a relationship, a job, an environment. That's when you know that it's not going to be a great opportunity for you to grow as a person. So I was off track for a long time. After I came out of varsity, I was a bit lost, and I still am, and I think everyone is a bit. No one really knows what they're doing, and that's okay. But it's just about figuring out and moving forward anyway, and trying to be happy and enjoy the process while you're at it. I always thought that I would have this artistic career, and I do think it's looming one day in the future, and I do think I'll find a way to include that. Sometimes you have to wake up, and I don't mean be realistic, because I don't think you should be realistic. I think you should dream big, and the bigger goals you have, the more likely you are to achieve them, because they'll be inspiring. But if you're in a situation where you're stuck and you don't know where to turn, ask yourself a few questions and try and figure out what's important to you before you make any of these massive decisions. For instance, I know it's a cliche, but you can find a job opportunity where you'd be able to travel. It'll just open up your mind so much. How do you expect to heal in the same environment that made you down or sick or depressed? Try and do everything you can and be proactive in trying to change your environment, your physical environment, and the people around you, if they aren't motivating and if they aren't inspiring. Ask yourselves a few questions and figure out what's important to you. Maybe traveling isn't important to you, but I just think that it's a great opportunity to learn and grow. I value learning and I value progress, and I think everybody wants happiness, but I think happiness is when you're progressing. You can't really be happy if you're not growing as a person. And I don't think happiness in itself should be a goal. Like, for some people it's a goal to be happy, but for me, happiness is just a fleeting emotion. And you can have it all, but you can still be depressed, or something terrible can happen to you and it can be all taken away. And then if you're relying on outside events to control how you're feeling, that's really not a great way to live, because then you'll constantly be going up and down and you won't have any control. So going back to the point, how to get unstuck. You don't owe anything to anybody, but you owe something to yourself. It doesn't have to be drastic. You could even just change something small for now and let it gradually build up, and then you'll have more and more confidence to take those steps. When you make a decision and you follow through, you'll build confidence in yourself to kind of keep making more decisions, and it might lead to something greater than you expected. It might lead to something, completely different, and you might meet someone and they might lead you somewhere else, and then you most probably will keep growing as a person and learning about new cultures and new languages. Just try and think outside the box. It's difficult to think outside the box when you're in an uncomfortable and sad and horrible situation. It's really difficult to see the wood for the trees, but try and see the bigger picture and realize that life on earth is short. And what do you want to get out of this life? How do you want to live your life? And start living accordingly, living out of sync. When your actions, thoughts and words are out of line, then you are out of line as a person, and you can't be fulfilled or happy. And so many of us, especially with social media, are always trying to put on a show and trying to impress others. A lot of the time it's more important what it seems like we're doing than what we're actually doing. First of all, when you're happy inside, it's going to reflect on the outside. So try and work on first going in and doing inner work, figuring out what really matters to you down to the core. And a lot of the things you're worried and stressed about now aren't going to matter. I'm also talking to myself now, because I get very anxious a lot of the time and I get worked up and overwhelmed. But a lot of the things we stress about and worry about today are not even going to feature or matter in like a few weeks, or maybe a few months, or in a year. It doesn't matter. Like it most probably won't matter. Or that person who hurt you, probably won't even phase in your way of thinking anymore in a few months. All these things that are happening to you are only making you stronger, and they might be preparing you. Maybe the universe is preparing you for something greater, for what you asked for. And don't get too caught up in social media and into keeping up appearances and to trying to look the part, because people are only worried about themselves at the end of the day. No one actually cares what you do. I promise you, like, if people are telling you that, oh, you should do this and do that, it's basically like when your family is telling you these sort of things. Most of the time, yes, they care, and also they just try to make conversation. Or when your friends are suggesting things or saying, oh, you should do this, you shouldn't do this, we don't have to stay where we are, and it's possible to change your situation. Everything could be completely different in a month from now, in a few months from now, if you just put your head down and focus on what you want and stop being so worried about what people think. And yes, it's easier said than done, but it's time to start living your life for you. It's time to take the bull by the horns. Life is always changing. That's one thing we can know for sure, and we actually don't really have control over anything, so there's no point in stressing about it too, because it's just worrying twice. Most of the time, what we worry about doesn't even end up happening. So I hope this video gave you some perspective. Let me know what you thought in the comments. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up, click the notification bell so you know next time I post, and subscribe for more, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.